So some Republicans are now accusing companies like Twitter and Facebook of targeting conservatives.
President Trump even claimed, without evidence, that there may be collusion among the social media giants. Let's just listen.
If they're Republicans, if they're in a certain group, there's discrimination and big discrimination. I see it absolutely on Twitter and Facebook, which I have also, and others I see. So something's happening with those groups of folks that are running Facebook and Google and Twitter. And I do think we have to get to the bottom of it.
So those comments come after the White House director of social media, Daniel Scavino Jr., was temporarily blocked from making comments on Facebook. He posted this picture demanding the company give an explanation for the ban. The company says they mistook him for a bot.
So joining us now to break this all down is CNET senior producer Dan Patterson, not San Patterson as it's written in the prompter. Good to see you, Dan. So this is really fascinating to me. Conservatives are using this term shadow banning when it comes to these allegations. What is it, and is it real?
Yeah.
So shadow banning is, or at least is alleged to be the practice of posting a piece of content, so a Twitter update or a Facebook update, and it looks to you, the account holder, that everything is normal. However, it doesn't show up in the feeds of other people. As we know, most social media platforms are now algorithmic, so these algorithms make decisions based on all kinds of different signals on what will show up in the feeds of others. One could notice shadow banning by a lack of engagement or interactions with that post.
So what is Facebook saying about this? Is it only Facebook that they're saying? Or is it Twitter?
In this case, the Scavino is blaming Facebook for shadow banning, but Twitter has been accused of this, as have many social media platforms.
So what are we hearing from them?
Right. So we reached out to many social media companies, including Facebook. They sent us back a couple of responses that were fairly consistent, which is, look, we look for different signals, and some of those signals are repeated uses of the same word or different types of engagement. They kind of look that you and I would say, hey, that looks kind of spammy. That's not Facebook's word, but, in colloquial terms, it would look just kind of spammy, like the same thing over and over and over, or very caustic language, the use of exclamation points all over the place. So Facebook said, hey, look, we train artificial intelligence algorithms to look for this type of behavior, and sometimes accidents happen. That's what happened in this case. We reached out and we unblocked the account soon afterwards.
So to me, there's a couple of things to think about here. One is what the president and others seem to be alleging is that there is some concerted effort by the people who run these organizations to ban and to block people who are conservatives. What you're explaining to me is very different, which is that there are often people on Twitter, for example, if we're using Twitter, who use certain words. And they could be conservatives or liberals. In other words, if you're using MAGA exclamation point and you got a lot of flags and all these other things that they use in some of these some of these accounts, and you're a Democrat or a liberal or somebody who doesn't like President Trump and you use a lot of the resistance, right, anti-MAGA, whatever it is, you could also end up getting banned. So it has very little to do with your political leanings and more to do with the language you use on the platform.
You could, but the argument is, I presume, that they're not. It's not falling on both sides. I don't know. It's obviously some sort of algorithm, but people make up that algorithm, right? So, I mean, are people on the other side also finding themselves shadow banned or whatever?
Yeah, so this is a very important distinction. Look, algorithms make many of the decisions here simply because humans can't scale to make decisions for these entire networks full of billions of people. Vlad, what you were saying is absolutely correct. There is a difference between an algorithm saying, hey, look, this behavior, not your political leanings, but this behavior resembles behavior like a bot. Whether you're on the left, right, center, no matter where you are, if you behave in a certain way, our algorithms might catch that because bots act just like this particular type of behavior. And Marie, what you're saying is also very correct in that there is the assertion that there is an effort by these social media companies to point out or look at only conservatives. When we speak to these social companies, they say, no, look, our business interests are not partisan. We look for behavior, or algorithms look for behavior. So we are not biased one way or the other, but people do create algorithms, and bias can get baked into those algorithms.
Right.
So it's not as though these algorithms are nonpartisan, but they're much less likely to make partisan decisions than humans are.
We want to ask you about the response from Facebook about the New Zealand attacks, the fact that it looks like this individual live streamed these attacks. What are we hearing from Facebook about this?
Well, they have also said that, look, artificial intelligence has caught 99% or more of these videos that are going up. And look, we want to stop this as much as you want this, you being the public or other people on social media want this content flagged and taken down. It's just hard given the amount of the sheer volume of accounts uploading this. Now, Facebook has not said this, but when we've asked around, it looks as though bots are also responsible for some of the content going up at large scale on a variety of social platforms, including YouTube and other videos. So Facebook and Google are working to use AI to flag content. It simply can't catch everything all the time.
And we should point out that Facebook, we talk a lot about Facebook. It's massive, but the reality of it is there are many, many other platforms, and if Facebook has the ability to erase this video completely from its platform, there are so many other outlets for people who want to upload this disgusting video. Yeah. All right, Dan, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dan.